Welcome to Greg, Paul, and Brad's video presentation for EDUC 633. Now, how can educators use technology to transform teaching and learning? Well, that's a good question. Well, today we're going to answer that question in a single word. Google Apps for Education, or GAFE. Today we're going to talk about what is Google Apps for Education, or GAFE. We're going to talk about the features and general usage of selected software, the strengths and weaknesses, how to integrate GAFE into educational resources, and lastly, a question and answer session at the end of our presentation. Before we begin, I'm going to show a small video clip of Google Apps for Education 101, and the link is found below on YouTube. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this little clip on Google for Education. Now, Google Apps for Education, we have some selected software that we have chosen for this presentation. It is Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Forms, and Google Slides. Now, all this is basically a cloud-based platform. Google Drive is the sharing platform, and underneath that platform, you have Google Docs, which is cloud-based document editor, Google Forms, which is also a cloud-based survey and assessment tool. And lastly, we have Google Slides, which is a cloud-based presentation tool. Now for Google Drive, you can upload files of any size or type, which is a good thing. You're able to download anything from, it doesn't matter the size, but the key thing is any size and any type. You can share files with anyone who has a Gmail account. Now keep in mind, before you start to implement any type of Google Apps for Education, you may want to make sure that you have a Gmail account and make sure all of your students have a Gmail account. This also serves as a central hub for all GAFE file access. Once again, this is the platform. So once you have Google Drive, you're able to access any type of the other software that is available. And lastly, you have free storage limit of 15 gigabyte. With premium options available. Now you can think 15 gigabyte is not a lot. It can go by very quickly. So your question is how am I going to use Google Drive or Google Apps for Education? What is my intentions? What's my purpose? And what type of files, videos, and etc. will I want to store on Google Drive? Google Docs. Google Docs, once again, is a cloud-based document editor. You can create, share anything on the word processor, which is kind of similar to Word for Microsoft Office. You can also collaborate with anyone also that has a Gmail account, and it allows track changes to organize contributor changes. That way, if you're able to have a document out there, you'll be able to pull information down, know exactly who made what changes to the document. And also, it allows documents to be downloaded into common formats. Google Slides. Once again, create, share, and edit PowerPoint style presentations online. Collaboration is key. Allows tracks and changes to organize contributor changes as well. And also it can be downloaded into any common format. Lastly, we got Google Forms. This is create, share, and edit surveys or assessments online. It will automatically collect, organize, and analyze the data, and will provide immediate feedback to the participants. Now, based upon those selected software, you also have some strengths to GAFE. The main thing is ease of collaboration. It's very easy to work together, to share documents, and give student feedback. Ease of use. The user interface is very intuitive, and it also, like I said, mirrors that of Microsoft products that facilitates a smooth transition from Microsoft Office to the Google Apps for Education. Once again, the cost for basic usage is free. However, if you want to upgrade to the next level, it costs roughly $5 per user per month. So the question you want to ask yourself is, what type of information am I going to store in it? Will I go beyond that 15 megabyte? Do I need to increase my size? How many students will be utilizing Google Apps for Education? These are questions you want to ask yourself, and you decide whether or not if you want to go with the basic usage that is free or if you want to upgrade to the next level. It's a single source, meaning all of your information, your basic computer needs can be met by a single provider, which means that information can transfer seamlessly between applications. And lastly, it is rich in the features. Has almost all the same features as Microsoft Office at a fraction of the price, and we know how Microsoft Office can get very pricey and based on the additions that it has. Now, with strengths of GAFE also comes the weaknesses. Now, the single source, though, is listed as a strength. If servers are compromised in any way, your entire system can become non-functional. Now, with any type of technology-based programs, the key thing is to make sure you have things backed up and saved. At this time, we have a lot of compromise of documents, of compromise of websites, so keep in mind that it is a single source and there's a single sort of failure. The big thing about it is that it's internet required. Though there is an offline mode, it is not feature rich, so internet connection is required. Compatibility is another weakness. Google Files are not always compatible with other outside programs, but Google allows you to download in many file types to try to alleviate this issue. We talked about internet connection. Horton, 2011, from eLearning by Design, had mentioned some key things about network considerations. The first, that it provides multiple types of network connections. That's what we need to do. You need to decide. That means allow wireless protocols and telephone, examples, mobile hotspots, and tethering to gain access to e-learning content. When you design and develop Google Apps for Education for your students, think about trying to provide small files for content, meaning do not have large files that will take up time to download during network connection issues. Lastly, you can reduce the size and length of the video clips, the graphics, and audio formats. These are things to think about when you're in your school. Do you have high or strong internet connections, 3G, 4G, what platform are you using? Are you using Chromebooks? Are you using tablets? Are you using smartphones that may be able to pick up the 3G, 4G connection? But always think in mind is, what is your connection platform? What is its strength? And what do I need to do to ensure that my students are able to pull the information that I have out there on GAFE? They're able to pull that information down, to be able to use it, to create, to collaborate, all the while they're able to download that information. Lastly, we talk about how can we integrate GAFE into educational resources. Now for our team, we designed a scavenger hunt. As you see the flow chart on the screen, you basically open up Google Slides application in the Chromebook, and then you create a scavenger hunt presentation, and you're going to walk through and go through the steps. Now this is a kind of a two-pronged approach, integrating technology with classroom curriculum. And how can you do that? This provides an easy lesson for the teacher to go out to understand and how to incorporate Google Apps for Education with their curriculum. And this specifically talks about Google Slides, how to go in and create a presentation, being able to pull information from the internet, JPEG images, pulling videos into it, using the scribble command feature, using the Venn diagram feature, inserting bubbles in the information. This provides an easy way for the teacher or the educator to take their course curriculum, develop it in GAFE, and using a game-based learning approach through a scavenger hunt. Now this concludes our presentation. Now we will entertain any questions that you may have regarding Google Apps for Education. Thank you.